review time, and I want to tell you about a film that I am earnestly conflicted about. I saw The TV Glow. I saw Jane Schoenburn's movie at South by Southwest this year, and it was definitely good, but I have some weird reservations, and I'll get into those in a bit. The movie's good, but weird. If you go in there expecting a straightforward plot, you're not going to get it. It is definitely surreal, which I can dig. That's my kind of stuff. And it's basically a creepypasta come to life set in a late 90s, late night Nickelodeon show, or maybe an early 2000s WB show. You know, the kind that had kids doing weird kind of sci-fi and supernatural drama, but over the top in terms of its soap opera-ness. It was fun seeing something like Are You Afraid of the Dark, or maybe Charmed, recreated with a better budget, cooler special effects, and with a definite edge of something really, really bad, just outside the view of the audience. The film follows, more or less chronologically, the story of a young kid played by Ian Foreman, and later a young teen played by Justice Smith, an actor who I'm really growing to appreciate the more I see him. And this kid is definitely autistic coded, although while it seems to be set maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s, this isn't something that would have been heavily diagnosed. When they meet a slightly older and also very troubled teen, played by Bridget Lundy Payne, this opens their eyes as they get to see the world of late night Nickelodeon, and also what it's like to have a single friend in the world, and then to kind of watch that world fall apart, which, again, good film. But to talk about why I have reservations, I need to get into a little bit of spoilers. Before the film started at South by, Schoenburn said they intended this film to be a trans allegory, and that's cool. But if they hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have figured it out on my own, which is fine. Subtle allegories are great as much as overt ones. That being said, there is one scene later in the film that is directly referencing this, but I wish there was more attention paid to this as an allegory because, well, as Justice's character goes on, it's hard to tell whether they have denied it and that's why they suffer, or where they've accepted it and that's why they suffer, or whether they have a better life, because it doesn't, I feel like it needed to have a very clear message and not just a life can be confusing sometimes message, which is also okay. But there's also the other, maybe unintended message, which is what really causes me to hesitate before recommending this. I think if somebody goes in knowing this is a trans allegory, they may enjoy it or they may not. And if they go in not knowing this, they may never figure that out and enjoy it, or may not. And that's fine. My bigger concern is in the unintended message in the film related to the reality bending nature of the plot. Throughout the first half of the film, we are treated to a possibly unhealthy level of fandom from teenage viewers of a TV show. And throughout the second half of the film, we're told this may all be real. And I have had family members with various forms of schizophrenia, and I have known people who have fully believed that the things they see on TV are confirmation of things that they have felt inside their heads. And I would be very careful not to have somebody who has that kind of a grasp on reality watch a show like this, because it basically says everybody tells you it's not real, but it is. And if you ignore the things that are real, and you know they're real, even if people tell you they're not, you're going to suffer because of it. And I don't think that was the intended message, but it definitely makes me hesitate. Obviously, if that doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. It's just one of those things that I think about when I'm considering what kind of audiences may see a film eventually. And that's why I would make that kind of a caution. Still, it is a very good film. And even the fact that it isn't very clear makes it worth watching, I think, because I think it's really cool to have those kind of Lynchian movies that just don't make a lot of sense, but still are definitely trying to say something. And I think that really applies in this case.